Hello guys, hello gals, welcome to Canadian Immigration Channel, and the question was asked this week on how to select a provincial program to go for. It's very well known that provinces are quite active in the recent days. If you have express entry profile, if you're looking to apply for provincial nomination because you do not have enough score, you got a multiple of alternatives depending on your own situation, right? And chances are that you will have circumstances such as some of our clients have right now, when you are invited by New Brunswick, you're invited by Alberta, you're invited by Saskatchewan, and suddenly you got an invitation from Ontario. Which one to select, which one to go, and how to choose this program. Well, or you are not applying yet, right? But you're still looking to assess your chances, and there is a good opportunity and there is a good probability that you will be selected by one or another program. Now, a few things to consider. I would definitely recommend you to consult with somebody who's knowledgeable enough about provincial immigration. You can come to us, you can come to any other law firm who knows what they're doing. But when it comes down to provinces, keep in mind the several points I want to emphasize here. When it comes to Saskatchewan, these guys are quite active right now. We've repeated multiple times on YouTube that Saskatchewan is pretty good when it comes down to issuing an invitation, but they're mostly wonderful when it comes down to refusing your invitation for whatever reason come into their head. For example, they will be telling you that your passport copy has not been submitted, despite the fact that you've done it, despite the fact that you have pretty much made a screenshot. You will go through all the circles of hell, convincing Saskatchewan that it was their mistake and probably their officer was underestimating something or missed this piece of a document. So if you're looking to apply for Saskatchewan, double and triple check all the documents which you're about to submit. Make screenshots, make copies of everything you're submitting, right? Make sure that you will be able to prove to them that it's their mistake, they're wrong. Now, the other thing to point out with Saskatchewan is proof of funds. These guys are not forgiven, okay? We had a person who came to us complaining that he was refused by Saskatchewan because for the period of 90 days, right? For 3 months, he is supposed to show his money in his account. He had this one day, I think, or 2 days, he was lacking 20 Canadian dollars or 14 Canadian dollars. So the amount of money was like completely nothing, but he was refused because he was not maintaining this balance of in his account, right, for 3 months in a row. Saskatchewan could be this bad, right? Be very, very mindful when it comes down to their application with them. These guys are not forgiven at all. Now, Alberta. Going to Alberta, these guys are wonderful. They're more or less approachable when it comes down to the application, but they're absolutely unforgiving when it comes down to your express entry. So these guys are pretty bad when you're adding dependents, when you are changing your express entry application, when your express entry application has expired, it was canceled for whatever reason. It happens sometimes, right? Federal government refused your application because you did not provide your police clearance certificate. You're creating another one, right? You just created it in half an hour. Alberta will not attach this invitation they issued to you to the new express entry profile. Be very, very careful and mindful when it comes down to applying for express entry and proceeding with your express entry after Alberta issued an invitation to you. Now, when it comes down to New Brunswick, these guys are more or less wonderful. They got, we had lots and lots of situations with their officers, but all I can say that in all of the circumstances, completely 100% with them, we were able to solve it. So all in all, New Brunswick, when it comes down to their invitations, when it comes down to their questions, they're still approachable, quite able to talk to them, and they're wonderful. Love you guys. Now, when it comes to federal officers, pilot programs, when it comes to application after provincial immigration, well, at the one hand, right, they've always been the most knowledgeable ones, and it's pretty easy to deal with them. On the other hand, the number of our submissions to federal court is growing exponentially, unfortunately, because of the refusal, which have absolutely no meaningful, and they're kind of, I'm trying to avoid to say stupid, but these refusals have absolutely no ground behind them, and it looks like officers are either busy processing applications or not sure what they're doing at some cases, and considering the fact that the number of our applications to federal court is growing fast, well, I would be very careful and double checking your application for express entry, your application for study permit, work permit, and so on and so on. So be mindful when it comes down to applying for the provinces, okay? If just know a couple of drawbacks for each one of them. If you're looking to go, if you want us to have a discussion, like open consideration and an open dialogue on where to go, where not to go, especially if you're considering applying for multiple provinces or expressing your interest for multiple provinces, just drop us a line. We'll have a quick conversation and decide which way to go and which not for you. Stay tuned with us, and of course subscribe for the channel.